Hello, party people. I don't know what took me so long to do one of these, but nevertheless, here it is. 4,350th platinum. This is my platinum review, so to speak, of Soulstone Survivors. This game was released, let me see here. Where's that information at? It was released June 17th, 2025. This was a port from a PC game, I believe. Is it possible there will be DLC in the future? I mean, I'm not ruling it out. I'm not going to delete my save, at least not for a while. And let me just give a little breakdown of how difficult, how much fun, and whatnot this particular platinum was. So, without further ado, let me go over here. Let me minimize this. It's like I've done this before. Wow. Okay. So, this was my arguably quote-unquote best character, right? It's the first character I played, the first character I, quote-unquote beat the game with. The game never really ends. It's a measurement of how far you can go to increase the difficulty to the point where you're micromanaging statistics and stuff like that. There's no limit. You can go as high as your character would take you. You can advance your character as much as you want. In terms of weapons, anything else is kind of limited by a skill tree. There's a essential skill tree, and then there's a character skill tree. The essential skill tree affects every character. Now, the thing about the character skill tree is that when essential is cleared and you start earning above prestige level 1, for example, you'll get your first skill point for the character skill tree. It takes you to go to prestige level 170. Is 170, there's Barbarian was emphasizing there. And then you will have a max skill tree when you get to prestige level 170 with the maximum skill points you can have. And then it's just a matter of finishing out that skill tree. This is my best character because I am the farthest with it at prestige level 227. I didn't feel the need to go ahead any further than that. So all the ones you see with purple stars are the characters that I unlocked and had to finish the skill trees too. So all these characters, obviously except for the little Easter egg down there in the lower right, that is the blacksmith. You get to play as the blacksmith. Yeah, so once you get every character prestige level 170, you can finish your skill tree and you'll get credit towards the platinum for that. You need 22 of these characters to reach level 170 to complete the entire tree. The blacksmith himself, I do not believe he has a skill tree. At least I don't remember seeing it. Let me see if I can find it. I don't think he has a skill tree. Does he? I don't think he does because I don't see him on here. Yeah, I don't think he does. He's more of a gimmick. Just a little Easter egg at the end of the game. But anyway,
Let's spill
so like
blood.
there's some voiceover, there's a little bit of a story, and like it's not the greatest story. It's not like this is a AAA game, but like, is it fun? Yes. Did I have fun with it? Yes. Is it everybody's game? No. Because if you don't like bullet hell, you don't like roguelike, you might not like this game. Now I will say that there's certain characters that I did enjoy more than others, obviously. Basically, the ones with the most stars are the ones I enjoyed the most, because I kept playing them. I'll just run through them real fast. Pyromancer. He's actually a very good class. Hellmaster I didn't really like. Spellblade was pretty good too. The Arcane Weaver, pretty good. Sentinel, pretty good. Basically, the only true strike hard. The Sentinel is the only true bold character. The Plat, Chaos Walker, the Legionnaire, one of the few classes with a shield just like the Paladin. Elementalist speaks for itself. Now the Assassin. The Assassin was so much fun because of one skill, and that was like summoning other assassins. I think it had like somewhere between 5 or 10 fucking assassins running around helping you out is kind of cool. And
Time to hunt.
the Beastmaster was surprisingly enjoyable. I didn't think I would like it because I didn't like the Houndmaster, but I did like the Beastmaster because there was more variety in terms of summons. Speaking of summons, you got the Necromancer right there. Mostly skeletons, stuff like that. Some demons or something like some shit. The Death Knight.
Void. We must endure.
The Death Knight was fun. He's the only character that gets to ride a horse, like all the time. The Monkey King. I believe this is a spoof of like Wukong with like the same legend and the folklore, the attitude and whatnot. So it was kind of cool. The Engineer. The Engineer was alright. I didn't think there was anything special. The Shaman was kind of weird, but I had fun. The Cursed Captain, a pirate, which was also kind of weird, but it was alright. The Demon Hunter. Now that was the only character with 2 hand crossbows. So that was fun. I thought the Demon Hunter was fun. The Mirror Midden. I didn't really like this character. It's like an Aquaman, Aquawoman kind of thing. The Machinist is actually a lot more fun than I was expecting. I didn't go too far with them. And of course,
Is the way.
if you go in order, the last character I unlocked is the Samurai. So I'm going to tell you one thing that I wish, well, you know, a few things I wish I knew before attempting this platinum. So these are all the runes, right? Let me get back to my main character. Here. So I'm going to show you the runes, right? So let's pretend that I clear these out. And I will clear these out as well. I'm going to show you what I normally put for runes. Okay. So we start at the top here. Now generally, a lot of these are not unlocked. And I will encourage you to unlock certain ones as soon as possible. Which include playing the Samurai as early as possible to unlock the runes that the Samurai unlocks. Because some of the runes that the Samurai unlocks, the later characters unlock for that matter, make the game so much easier. And I really wish I knew this, or someone would have told me, or maybe I just didn't do enough research. I don't know. But anyway, starting at the top, the top 3 up here, you can have I believe runic power does not affect these, so you can have any combination of these you wish. Only thing is you can only use up to 3. So typically I would do this. I'll get the row 1 extra reroll every 5 levels. It adds up, believe it or not. The endless refill, which is every time you interact with a portal, any portal, you gain 5 rerolls and 5 locks. So I use that. So now, you only have so many choices in the versatility option, right? I wish I knew about this. I really wish I knew about this. Where is it? Okay. Arduous training. Increased prestige gain by 40%. This would have made the playthrough a lot quicker and a lot more enjoyable if it was more streamlined like this. When it's locked, you see, if you ever go through this game, you'll see the lock there. If you remember the position the rune is in, it doesn't tell you what you're unlocking, but it does tell you the unlock requirements. I wish I played the Samurai much earlier, so I could equip this Arduous Training rune. Now, if you look over here, it tells you available skill types in the right middle, to the right. It says Electric, Earth, Swing, Thrust, Slam. So now when we're figuring out the other runes, like in my opinion, these are essentials. This one and this one. You need these to get the build you want to build. No matter what that might be. There's no right build. I don't think there's a better build than others, but you know, there's certain balances you might want to do, certain spikes you want to do. So anyway, so if this wasn't the barbarian and it was a character that did not have access to Earth, for example. This well, I don't see it right now, so I'll show you later. There's this skill called Earth Shield. If your character has access to Earth, you should have access to it automatically. The Barbarian happens to have it automatically. But if we look at the Samurai, for example, who does not have access to Earth, so if you go to his runes, you will see. Let me take this off over here. You see Earth over here. So with this, you gotta pick. Allows you to choose up to 5 active skills of a certain type that your character would not have otherwise access to the skill pool for. So if you pick this one and you go to Earth, oops, wrong one. Okay. There's this one skill. This is called Earth Shield. In my opinion, this is the best skill in the game. There's no character that does not benefit from the skill. Not only is it offense, it's also defense, and one of the few skills that actually heals you. Now, the whole point of being healed is that you can take more hits. If you're playing without any shield whatsoever, like certain characters, they just might not have access to it, and you can't fit this in your build. I make it fit because that's how important it is to me. This is the way I play. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm just saying that as earthen orbs rotate around you, causing damage to enemies and healing you on impact with any enemy, and you gain resilience because of that. Now, resilience, yeah, that's good. Like, you know, if you hit L2 here, it tells you increases the armor power by 4 for 6 seconds. That might not seem like a lot, but it adds up when you're stacking the resilience. But anyway, when the orbs, the little shield floating around you, causes damage, you get healed. That heal amount only says 1 on here, but again, if you're stacking, then there you go. If you're multicasting, for example, almost said multitasking. So I always try to fit this in any build that I use with any character. So that was a problem because when I had access to this, I would have to have gotten rid of the Earth Shield. I could have gotten rid of maybe the 5 rerolls and 5 blocks, maybe. But I'm telling you why I couldn't get rid of those. You could probably get away with losing the rerolls because you get rerolls from this anyway. These are just what I would pick. So if we look at immovable object, so a lot of this stuff can be idle farmed, as in like if it's easy enough and your character is powered up enough, you can just idle levels over and over. Your skills will go up by level the longer you idle for and the more crystals you collect, soulstones if you will. This increases crit chance. This happens to be someone I picked. This is also a must-have in my opinion. It's called Decapitator. You have a 10% chance of killing enemies with less than 40% health instantly. So 10% doesn't sound like a lot. When you're hitting them with blade spin, like we're talking like 10 hits per second, right? One of those is going to trigger, you know, the chance to kill. It's just in terms of odds, it's going to happen at some point. So the thing about this, so it takes a Void Lord, which are common elite enemies, kind of like mini bosses. They take 10%. If you get them down to 10%, then you do the blade spin, etc. Whatever skill you're using, you can execute them before they reach 0%. So you're killing them 10% ahead of time, which might not seem like a lot, but when enemies have 1 trillion or more HP, it makes a big difference. I mean, it turns like a 10-minute fight into what, like a 7-8 minute fight. So that's the way I look at it. If we go down here, you'll see I have every 25 levels I'm even presented with legendary power-ups if possible. If you receive skill power-ups on this level, this rune will take effect on your next power-up level up. So if you're running this one, which you should, because this is basically 3 guaranteed legendaries, and it's not easy to get a legendary skill during the game. So your character level would start at 1, right? The prestige level is whatever it is, but character level varies by instance, varies by per run, varies by game, etc. No matter what part of the game you're playing, whether that be the Cathedral, the Titan Hunt, or just the regular fields, the Void fields. Now, if you run the 3 legendaries for every 25 levels. I know that seems like not a lot, but it really does add up, especially when you consider getting 3 of them guaranteed. Then you have to consider you are going to need locks. This is the only way to get skill locks is endless refill. You can get rerolls from it, or you can get a reroll every 5 levels, or both. So this is why I use these 2 runes. Now, if we look at my barbarian some more here.
What brings you to my forge?
Oh, we're on my samurai. Hold on one second. Let me adjust what I would normally pick. Yeah, so I will use these 2, and like I use immobile object because I generally at some point I do idle farm. Decapitator, which we just talked about, the legendary one, and I have room for another one that costs 3 runic points. As you can see in the lower right, you see 7 out of 10. So I could pick one more that has up to 3 runic points. In this particular instance, I would probably pick maybe the increased critical chance of this vulnerable target right here. It costs 2, so that's enough. Or I would pick an extra skill slot, turning your skill slots to 7. And that one extra skill can really improve a build or give you more versatility. Not to be confused with the versatility at the top, just more options. Again, a lot of these runes I didn't have access to, and I wish I knew about, because they would have made so many runs so much faster. They're probably more enjoyable, to be honest, because like it's a decent amount of time to be playing the same character over and over, but like that's the most efficient way to do it. So what can I say? Yeah, so I wish there was like a beginner's guide to this game. Like I would write one, but I'm not that good at writing guides. But yeah, so if I add that, then I have a free slot here. Now if I wasn't max prestige or 170 prestige, I would get this. Otherwise I would probably get either oops, I hate this menu sometimes. There's something wrong with my controller, that's why. Unconventional start. Start the game 1 skill point and 5 rerolls, but without your weapon's basic skill. That seems like handicap, but you start the game with a special weapon skill for currently selected weapon. Now that's not to be confused with the artifact power. We'll get to that. This is my build right here for my barbarian. This is what I would normally use. If I didn't care about prestige anymore, and I just wanted to farm and push the boundaries of this character, just a scale. This is what I would do, and I will say this is not perfect, but it's what worked for me. So Glacial Affinity is a skill that is supposed to be very good for the barbarian because it is affected by slow. The barbarian has a lot of skills that cost slow, which you think wouldn't be a big help for the barbarian since he's melee, but even the barbarian has some distance attacks, so if the enemy's coming towards you slowly, it's easier to kill them than it is if they're coming at full speed. So, blacksmith, which you'll spend a lot of time on. So most characters have 4 or 5 weapons, right? These are the highest ones I gotten. The Blades of Damnation. If you look over here, the skills that the barbarian ends up with are thrust skills, as in physical attacks. This just happens to be the artifact power. What is artifact power? Artifact power is that bottom thing that says upgrade at the bottom. It takes the materials to the right of the screen. Generally, are those hard to get? Generally, yes, they are. Why do I have so many? Because I played this game many times. You share all those materials with all your characters, so it's like one big massive inventory that you don't have to worry about. You just have to get the requirements if you want to level up the weapon you want to level up, and it never ends too. See how it says the +2 green at the top? You can probably go that far for like more than just +2, probably like as much as you want if you have the materials, I imagine. But anyway, that's runes, and certain weapons has different boosts Typically, the best weapons will have no negative effects, and they'll all be positive, just like this one. The Barbarian gets access to a lot of skills that a lot of characters don't have access to that early in the game, like slam skills, thrust skills, swing skills, and just like more options than some of the other characters. But like, you have to start out with the Barbarian. Like, you don't have to get them with max, but you have to play the Barbarian first to get access to other characters.
What?
Skill tree. I wish I could zoom out on this, but I can't. But anyway, you select what your character here. If they had skill points, you would go over here, and this is their character skill tree. Now this seems like a lot. It really isn't. What is a lot is, you notice how at the top you see those crystals? The yellow Soulstone crystals things over there is at 62, right? For some reason, you will always be low on yellow crystals, and I don't know why. It is so weird that they divvied up the collection to be that yellow crystal intensive. I don't know why they did that, but that's how they did it. And along the way, the character skills, you will see runes. So obviously, like, this is a rune for last resort. You unlock it via the skill tree. The thing about it is that the samurai has runes that I really wish I unlocked, like way in the beginning of the game. Is it harder to unlock the samurai? Yeah, you have to shoot for it specifically, and you might not be ready like that early in the game. You might not know all the dynamics of the game and like how to play it the way you want to play it. So it's kind of a hit or miss kind of thing. If you wanna, I didn't mind taking my time with this game. I will admit that towards the end of the platinum, I did. I got a little, it got a little repetitive. It got a little tedious, and but I was still having fun. Just not as much fun as I did when the game was so new to me. I was learning everything. Every character has about 3 different runes, and there's 22 characters, so you gotta figure that's what, 66 runes about. Achievements. So I have enough to get 440 out of 440 achievements, but I don't, because you don't get anything for them. I have the trophies for these where you upgrade 60 weapons to artifact rarity. What that means is you get this little slot in the lower left that says artifact power. See, I didn't unlock it on these earlier weapons because, like, there's no point in my opinion unless you're going for those trophies. And the higher, the more materials it will take that are rarer and rarer. Like these materials right, these weapons right here, like the beginning ones, they're gonna take more rolls, but like the materials in general are not that hard to get. When you do up here, this takes less rolls, but the materials are much harder to get. So it kind of evens out a little bit. But yeah, you don't get anything for getting 440 out of 440 achievements, but I can always get them if I ever wanted to. I happened to back up my save. I got all the weapons and I reloaded my save because I'm not going to invest in a character I don't plan on playing anymore, you know what I mean? So there's no reason for me to get every single weapon to artifact power with every single character, because at some point you want to be using the most powerful weapon, which is usually the last one. But depending on your build, you might want to use a different weapon. So that's up to you. I generally use the rarer weapons because I thought they had less negativities, debuffs to them than they have more buffs and debuffs, or nerfs, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, yeah, this is my profile here. I played 267 matches. I killed 4.4 million enemies. I killed 178,000 elite enemies. I killed 6,195 void lords. The fastest match took me 4 minutes and 43 seconds. The fastest match on max curse. Curse is just a difficulty setting, so to speak. Took me 10 minutes. The deepest endless battles that I fought, where you just go into a never-ending mode till you die, was 8 levels. The deepest overlord, which is like an arena, was 9 levels. The deepest overloader for max curse was level 5. That's basically the highest difficulty. The fastest ritual I had was the cathedral area. It was 9 minutes and 13 seconds. The hardest ritual I had was Ritual of Heresy, which took 30 minutes and 54 seconds. That's one battle. Over a course of many battles, that equals 30 minutes. You're running around trying not to die, trying to keep your earth shield up, and just running around trying to get some healing. That's what worked for me. The hardest sigil I had was +2 in difficulty with 2 Titan Blood. The most Titan Blood I ever had was 9 on the basic, what do you call it, the regular Titan hunts. Now, I'll show you right here. This Titan hunt thing. So void fields are these regular ones here, right? I'll show you over here. So if I wanted to do max curse, I would have all these. They would all be contributing towards the highest ones, which was 7. I only completed up to 6 for this one. I didn't try that hard. You don't get anything for finishing at 7. Some runes and some, I don't know, maybe a couple trophies depend on your max curse level that you unlock on a certain level. From 6 to 7, doesn't do anything. It changes at 6 to 7, as you can see on the void stages. The Titan hunt is the funnest part of the game, in my opinion. The Unholy Cathedral is this area where you pick which random skills you want for your character, and once you use them, there's a new area where you have to pick other random ones for your character. So it's kind of a strategy thing where you don't want to pick all your best skills at once and then not be able to use them again, because you have to go through this like 5 times, and that's how you beat down the Holy Cathedral. The Titan hunt, now as you can see right here, it says Sigil of the Void +2. I didn't beat the Void King. You'll find out who he is. He's like the end boss on +2. I could, but I didn't. I just had no incentive to. What I did do, I beat it on regular difficulty and +1. I just didn't quite get to +2, or else I would have +3 unlocked, which I don't have unlocked, as you can see. Now, those are the bonuses to the right. A lot of those things matter a lot, like the void essences, the legendary materials. Those are very important for later on getting artifact power and getting the max weapons to even forge them at the blacksmith. When I'm talking about upgrading, but that's it. I think that pretty much sums it all up. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll answer them. I don't know how good I'll be at it, but see, I have every achievement except for these 3, like I said. Again, no incentive whatsoever. Yeah, so with the Barbarian, I did 49 matches. My favorite skill was Earth Shield, as you can see. My favorite rune was Decapitator. I really like Decapitator. I love Decapitator. It is such a useful skill, you have no idea. My favorite weapon was that electricity one. I don't know why. I just didn't use... I wouldn't use the end game, the twin blades that you saw over there. Oh, right here. I would have used these more, but like I didn't keep playing the Barbarian after that. Otherwise, this was my 4,350th platinum. I have no regrets. I enjoyed the game. It took me about 2 to 3 months casually playing. I think like that 3rd month that I was playing, I really kicked it up a notch. I said I want this platinum. I want to be done with this game. It's fun, but like this is not the only game I want to play for the rest of my PlayStation life. So I had to get it eventually. Yeah, I really can't say anything else about the game besides this is a good game. I mean, like I had a lot of fun with it. Like it was, I like the Vampire Survivors, blah blah blah. I like those kind of games, and like this was a fun game, and I highly recommend it for people who like these types of games. If you've never played this type of game, There's other games that are much simpler that you might want to try out first, like Brotato, like that, for example. You could try out Vampire Survivors. There might be a little bit more of a learning curve to that. But like this is a good balance of what like a bullet hell roguelike game should be. No huge emphasis on the story. Yes, there is a story. Is it that important? Not really. You're just killing things over and over. And you're just doing it faster and faster and faster against harder and harder enemies to the point where it takes a long time to kill some of these Void Lords. When they have multiple trillion, I said trillion XP. I think there was one time I got up to quadrillion. That was insane. Oh my god, that took forever, man. And like you multiply that by sometimes the 4 Void Lords. That was a long battle, man. A quadrillion, like, so there's poison, burn, doom, and bleed. Doom is the best one. Just read the characteristics about it. You will see why Doom is the best, like, a weapon effect or skill effect that you can pick. It's the rarest one and the hardest one to activate, but when you get it working, is invaluable. You can take down like enemies that are like tens of levels higher than you, and that makes a huge difference.
Tomorrow in Milford, there will be showers with a
So-
high of 59 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 38 degrees.
Just waiting for her to be done. So that's it. I really like this game, and I wish it was multiplayer. I believe I'm not sure what the PC version is, but oh yeah, I definitely wish I could play this online with like other people, and you would be working on like a zone together and like, you know, collecting materials as well. I guess that changes the dynamics of things, but it would have been more fun. I'm just saying, is this a perfect game? No. Did I enjoy it a lot? Yes, I did. Will you enjoy it? Probably. This is a very likable game in my opinion. Now to get the platinum, that's a completely different story. Like I said, the platinum is it's challenging. It can be tedious, but at the end of the day, you know, like what platinum isn't tedious? Come on now, you're talking about clearing everything in the game almost, you know. But yeah, that's what I had. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Again, this is my 4,350th platinum. This is my platinum review, my first platinum review out of 4,349 platinums. This is the first one I decided to do. I'll probably go back and look at some platinums from the past, but we'll see. Okay, guys. Take care of yourselves and each other.